This question is to determine the inverse of a transformed function. Suppose f of x is a one-to-one function. What is the formula for the inverse of the function g of x, defined as f of open parenthesis x plus c close parenthesis? First step is to understanding the transformation. When we add c inside the parentheses of function, as an f of open parenthesis x plus c close parenthesis, it shifts the entire graph of f to the left by c units. In other words, if the point open parenthesis a, b close parenthesis lies on the graph of f, then the point open parenthesis a minus c, b close parenthesis lies on the graph of g. Next step is to connecting the transformed point to the inverse. From a previous step, if g of open parenthesis a minus c close parenthesis equals b, that means the inverse of g, evaluated at b, must be a minus c. But since f of a equals b, we also know that the inverse of f, evaluated at b, is a. Therefore, we conclude that the inverse of g, evaluated at x, must equal the inverse of f, evaluated at x, and then subtract c. Next step is to final conclusion. Putting it all together, the inverse function of g is equal to the inverse of f minus c. That is, g inverse of x equals f inverse of x, then subtract c. A common misunderstanding is to assume that if the original function shifts left by c units, then the inverse should shift the input in the same way, for example, by evaluating f inverse at x plus c. That is incorrect. The shift